Hello and welcome to the Life is Storytelling Gamescast. I'm your host, Chris Pierce, joined by my co-host, Ernest Gonzalez. We're here to talk all things pirates in the gaming world with the game Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. It is the new release of this game. This was my first time. I touched the original one, but I did not beat it, so my first time playing it to completion. This is your first time playing it to completion too, if I'm not mistaken?
First time I've ever touched a Black Flag game.
Ever touched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not play the original. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a fond memory of the original. It's fun. That's part of it. But also, it's the last game I remember ever being able to rent from somewhere. And the reason I didn't beat it, like I got sidetracked by stuff and I had to turn it back in. So there it goes. And I could have bought it afterwards, sure, but I just didn't.
I
Um,
don't think I could tell you what the first game I ever rented was.
I don't know what the first
I,
one is.
oh, I thought you said it's the first game you were ever able to
Last.
rent.
Last game.
Oh, last game you were
Yeah.
ever able. Like,
Yeah.
man, you got started late, bro.
No, like I was working at a
Yeah,
video rental store. They had games for rent as well, and that's the last thing I rented before I left there.
because the original was on
PS3.
PS3.
Mm-hmm.
3? Okay,
PS3.
got
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
Um, but today is August 6th of 2026. I know we didn't have an episode necessarily come out at the normal time last week, but we do have that Avatar Aang movie review. Please go check that out. We're big fans of that franchise, and we will be talking about Korra again in the near future. And then after that, obviously, when October hits, we have a whole new Avatar to talk about. So, gonna be enjoying going over that. But as you see by Ernest's name here in the Zoom call, R. It's gonna be all pirates, baby. This is Assassin's Creed Black Flag review, resynced. Um, and yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into our relationship because I honestly, we've never, in our years of doing this podcast, we've never covered an Assassin's Creed game. I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
I talked about an Assassin's Creed game that I played at
You
like
have an
the
Odyssey
end of an
review,
episode. You were like, "Do you have anything to
right?
get out there for
When we
us?" And
shut
I was
when we
I
did
was
some
like,
stuff at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I played Odyssey and I feel this way about it." Blah,
right.
blah, blah.
Right. But this
And
is
yeah,
like, and it is the newest one. This is the newest one they've released. This is our first time in a long time, and first time in the podcast, buying the new Assassin's Creed and playing the new Assassin's Creed.
right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
We had talked about doing it with Mirage, and then that just
right.
did not
It
happen.
just did not
Something else
happen.
came out at the same time, probably. I would imagine that would be the
That
reason why.
and
Because we
like,
were like kind of hyped on it because they were
it's
selling
a
it
shorter
like, oh,
one.
it's going to be a smaller game
Yeah,
and more focused on like quality over quantity. And we were
right.
like, that's all we've been asking for. That
Right.
and a Black Flag remake, right? So
Right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say the two most like the things that the communities wanted like the most. Assassin's
mhm,
Creed in Japan, remake of Black Flag.
right.
And we do have them now. Too late, too little, too late. We'll see where Ubisoft is in the future.
Yeah.
we have plenty of receipts of our thoughts on Ubisoft. But we get to talk about their golden years today. So it's gonna be great. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and just jump in, man. Let's dive in with the diving bell, as they say. Ernest, give me some. Oh, I will say the game is old. But it did re-release with the resynced, and even that's been out for a few weeks now. Spoilers. Full spoilers from the gate. I don't know immediately what's going to be coming out of anybody's mouths here, but just so you know, we're going full
Bad
spoilers.
words.
There's definitely going to be bad words. That's part of our closing is literally the F word. But yeah, just so you're aware, spoiler alert, spoiler warning, you've been warned. But Ernest, give me some opening thoughts, man. Give me a score of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
I fucking love. No, I'm just kidding. It So Black Flag. I was very much looking forward to this because this is like when you tell people you haven't seen like Inuyasha and you're an anime fan, and they're
Right,
like, "Ew, what's wrong with you? How do you not watch
right.
one of the classics?" Right? Like this is the equivalent. This is Inuyasha
Right.
for me for a long time for the for the majority
Agame!
of like that people started really talking about gaming all the time and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like you get into that and people are like, "Oh, like Black Flag," right? And I'm like, "Ooh, actually, I don't know. I never played that game." And they're like, "What is wrong with you?" So I get a lot of those.
Right.
So I mean, the hype has always been there, and I totally get it. As far as Assassin's Creed's games go, it's hard to say. As far as Assassin's Creed games go, I I consider this a great time within that world. Not only that, but of course as a game in general as well. This is a very good game. And I see why the yearn was there
The
from the fans. Like
yearn,
you
love it.
needed that, man. Oh, it hits you every once in a while, the yearn. And
I love it. I
and
love it
I
so much.
yeah, so finally getting my hands on it felt like a must. Like it was also big enough of an event that it felt like we would be missing out on like good content. People like this game. People love this game.
Right.
They've been waiting for it for so long. Like, why would we not? And then do this about it.
Right.
So very happy that we had the opportunity that they finally like just bit the bullet. This is like one of their best selling games in a minute, I imagine, and put this out, right? So I also think it was just good timing as a remake in general. Like
Yeah.
these are the kinds of games that need to be remade for that preservation,
Absolutely.
but also just to be brought to new audiences like myself. And like it was an appropriate amount of time. Take a game from the early 2000s, remake that thing. Because you know how I feel about remaking a game too early.
Yeah.
It's
Last of
sometimes it's
Us.
cool, sometimes it's a lot. Yeah, it's the main example for sure.
And they keep doing
But yeah, they're probably gonna do it again. Skyrim, they remake that thing like every
it.
couple of years and stuff. But I'm happy that I got to play this, and especially comparing it like earlier. Chris sent me just some little reminder TikToks and stuff like that,
Just some beautiful
and
moments. Yeah.
and I was like, one of them is comparing the older game to the newer game, and what an upgrade! Everybody used to be so shiny for some reason, and
And
now
also
it
like
is a very like
darker underneath the eyes.
right.
I don't, and I was like, are these zombies? Like, what are we looking at?
And like you can see in the original, like the character design is pretty much exactly the
Yeah.
same. And the character design in this game is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
each character and their little nuances and stuff. Like people have little ticks that you just see all throughout. Like
Mhm.
for that to be in the game back then and that much like care and detail be put into something, it's no wonder people are so mad at Ubisoft now. It's for dropping the ball on stuff, bro. But is that good? You know what I mean? Like this was the kind of game that builds that reputation to where like, how are you failing right now?
Right.
Or like, how are you not doing as good as you should be doing at the very least? So I very much enjoyed it, to say the least. There are some things that just totally pissed me off about it. It was mainly about the story and the character, though.
Mm.
Like not so much about
Character
the
being
way that
Edward.
the game was made. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just some writing things that, like, man, I wish it didn't go that way more
Right.
than it's bad, you
Right.
know. And at a certain point, it became a little tiresome. Just that he's so dang money hungry, like it I get it that that's like a main motivation of this character, but it started to feel a little bit one note as we
Mm.
started going. And it's probably my biggest gripe about the game is just the way that the story veers, or could have veered, but just continues along that same path.
Yeah.
And because like even when you get to like the extra content and stuff, it's him being money hungry to the point that his friends, all like the only friends that he has left, because his money hungriness has lost him everything in this
Right.
world, and it's like the last bit of people, and he really struggles to make that
He
decision.
does.
Yeah,
He does. And I
he
will say,
really
I definitely
concentrates.
have. I think that's going to be something we're going to talk about for sure. Like
Right.
specifically, because that is the added segment plus a new crewmate. But that
Yeah.
segment, a world without gold, um, it is. You can tell this isn't necessarily the original developers that made that.
Mm.
In terms of like, because it just feels like kind of a regression for Edward, and I completely agree with you.
So, yeah,
Uh,
story wise for
right.
sure. And then, but like aside from that, like there's not too much aside from the ending and him moving on from this life finally. Like
Mhm.
there's not too much progression at all, like in the story towards that. I feel like
Okay.
he just keeps making the same mistake over and over and over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like up until the very end, it just keeps end up where like it keeps ending up working out. And I so that's my biggest gripe for
Mhm.
sure. There's a couple other little gameplay things, just with like combat and like how much variety there is within that fighting. It did feel very smooth, but killing every third person the same way, like really,
Right.
like I'm doing it again. Like
You're
there's
not
just
you're
not
not
too much
unlocking new
variety for it.
moves. You have
But
all your moves at
again,
the
like
beginning.
I imagine these are the moves from the original, and they just kept like a lot of those same, not necessarily like animations, but like the fatalities and stuff like that. Like they
Right.
just to keep that in there and keep it the same. Like I understand it, although I do understand that they rebuilt the fighting system entirely. So maybe you could have thrown in some variety. I don't know.
I was gonna
Um,
say, and go on, go on.
and but I think that comes along with a large game that has this much combat in it in the
Yeah.
first place. So only like little gripes here aside from the big story thing for me.
Mhm.
But love the character design. Definitely just love the being in a pirate world period, because
Mhm.
you don't get too much of this in gaming unless like you're a Sea of Thieves fan or something
Right.
like that. So there's it's hard to find pirate stuff out there. Or what's that cat one? There's a cat one,
I can't
cat
remember what it's called
adventure
either, but
game.
it's on his third
Yeah, I heard
game.
they're awesome,
It's on
honestly.
his third game.
But
But
yeah,
if you want
dude.
to play as a human being on
So
a pirate adventure, yeah, it's
yeah, it's tough. It's
a little
tough,
bare
especially for like
bones.
anything close to an authentic, a real close to an authentic experience that's good and fun to play.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, man. Yeah, I overall great time with it. It's just a few things here and there that might just be Assassin's Creed in general that
Mhm.
just aren't as much for me, that might bring me down a little bit on it, but
Okay.
there's more good than bad in this game. Absolutely. There's more
Okay.
greats than bad, I'd say.
Gotcha.
So and then some good in there too. So yeah.
And then a score.
Score, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it is
I
great
think that's you.
for
And I will
sure.
say this because it's a lot of thing like because everyone just reacts to the numbers of a review that they post online for anybody.
It's a great
Um,
game.
it's always because the way we usually go about it will because I probably I'm starting with a number before I say anything. But like when you're able to because I saw the eight in your words, like I saw it forming with everything you said,
That's good. I
and that's
did too.
good. That's a good review. That's a compliment. That's great. Um, but. I do want to shout out because you were bringing up like you this is probably the best selling Assassin's Creed in a while. I will say apparently Assassin's Creed Shadows, which came out last year, did sell well. I'm
Oh
not looking
yeah,
up that information, but just to call this out here, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced sold 2 million copies on its first day. It surpassed 3 million copies in its first week and went beyond 3.5 million copies within 2 weeks. And then, of course, it's
there it
been
is.
beyond that. So, I mean, it's going to be more. So, I mean, respect. People have been asking for this. People have been asking for
Right.
this for a very long time.
And like
Um,
you said, like the Shadows sold well
yeah.
because people were asking for that forever. If I
Right.
listen to
The
your
two
fans,
the two number one
yeah,
things are Assassin's Creed in Japan and Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake. So we have them. Will
yeah.
it be enough to save Ubisoft? Probably not, because when this game released, there was already a threat of the people who made this game in Ubisoft being fired.
I
Um,
mean,
yeah, well,
big Ubi
Big Ubi,
Daddy
Big Ubi,
Big Ubi Daddy
Ubi
Tencent
Daddy.
is gonna keep them afloat. I think
We'll see.
they'll buy the whole thing. I think
I was like, if
if it
they might,
ends
if
up
you
coming to
buy
that.
it and gut it to just be an Assassin's Creed machine, I don't. Well, we'll
Right.
see.
Yeah.
Not to shit on anything. I know a lot of Ghost Recon fans. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, I love this game. I'm immediately jumping out of the gate. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I think this game is amazing. I checklist gaming. It is something we do for the most part kind of frown upon because it's just like, oh my God, this checklist. But when you're not just playing checklist games, it's really not that bad. Because it's just like, oh, you're not gonna make me like I don't need every game to be Elden Ring. Elden Ring
Right.
quality,
Yeah.
yes, that would be beautiful. But like I don't mind a checklist. Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West are both checklist games. They do give you the option to turn off those checklists if you don't want to see them. Um, but they are checklist games, and you can go about that whichever way you want. And obviously, Ubisoft I don't know other way to put it. They're the kings of checklist gaming.
Right.
If
Yeah.
no other reason, then they just have done it to death. And honestly, if you're good at something, you should refine it, like get better, which I do think we've done with Assassin's Creed, and we'll get into that. But yeah, but not getting into the weeds there too much. I love Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I do give it a 9. This is now my favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time. And I do, there are going to be some things I don't agree with Ernest, but I do say I 100% see where you're coming from, and they are faults of the game. Because there is some flaws. I'm going to come to bat for Edward a bit here, but at the same time, like if you don't play all the side, like if you there's specific side quests, if you don't play, you don't hear him say the nice things about his friends. You don't hear him actually reflect on human beings. uh, and like there is some narrative flow that doesn't necessarily talk myself into it flow well. And I do agree with that. And the combat, it is repetitive. It is very repetitive. From my understanding, from what I can remember, there is definitely more emphasis back in the past of like all the Assassin's Creed games had a similar fighting style, but like just like more emphasis with the blades themselves, like because they like specifically there's an assassin gameplay fighting mechanic that is absent from this. It has been gutted and taken out, and I think for the better. I think what we got here is very good. I immediately like a few hours in was like, I'm tired of stabbing these people who didn't wrong me that badly in the face. It's just like a little bit like some things like that that I'm like there is some grace I do give the game because even though it is a remake, they do keep some things, but it is a PlayStation 3 game. This you were just like you had a very limited move set. You're gonna gut some people just because that's your move set. It came much later where you were like unlocking skill trees, getting new moves, obviously getting different weapons and stuff like that. And I will say, though I don't necessarily agree with it, one of the things that like the Assassin's Creed franchise gets criticized for more a lot in the newer games, people don't love how RPG it's gone. I do think there should be a balance. It doesn't need to go full RPG or leave behind the simpleness of what it was. Um, but like there is a balance there, but I think this is great. This reminded me, and Ernest can attest to this. I beat this game, and that was like a week or so because like I spent 60 hours in here. I was platting it. I was on the road to plat this. There is an RNG trophy that involves like
Yeah.
waiting. And I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait for that. So I just was
And
like,
more
okay,
RNG stuff past that.
right,
That's
right, right, right. And there was
just
another one that I just
ugh.
completely misunderstood. Um, but outside of that, I just loved all the diving for treasure. I loved all the small assassins contracts and like the ones that have like the actual stories and stuff like that. Um, And then like I just love Edwards so much. First of all, I love Matt Ryan. I was a fan of the Constantine show over on CW back in the day. My dog. Um, and
Big
his
C
voice is just so
Dub.
good. It's just so good. I love his voice. Um, but like every side activity, hunting, whatnot. I got everything in every area. I 100%ed every location, every diving bell, stuff like that. And I never was tired of it. It is very silly that when you're boarding a ship, the other ships around you are like, well, we gotta wait till he's done.
It's weird. Yeah, it's
But I
definitely
also
weird.
don't
And
know
to
what
be
you
fair,
do.
like I would have got my ass whooped a lot.
Same,
Like, I mean, I
same.
feel like you have them pull up and pour out other soldiers onto that boat to help their friends fight. That just makes sense in
Okay.
my head.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
Uh,
so it's more of a fight if you had like at least one or two other ships
like all
like
the
pull
ships
up
come
next
up
to
and just
their
kind of
ship,
help out with
and
that
yeah,
that
it
stuff.
just kind of makes sense strategically in my head, but they
Yeah,
didn't have that much. It also makes sense to just sink their ship while they're fighting this other ship,
that
right?
is also
Like,
true.
but so we're
But
not
that
doing
is gonna
everything that makes
frustrate a
sense, but like
player, which you got to remember.
it,
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta
definitely,
you gotta give some
definitely.
grace there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah,
But
there's
because
differences
there's
there.
so many fights that I only escape because I would like pull up
Prepare. Yeah.
whoop their ass,
Mm.
repair, and it's like I'm back in this fight
A
now.
hundred
So
percent.
it
A hundred
it
percent.
definitely works like as a game mechanic, but like
Right.
logically, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right. It is very silly. And to be fair, every Assassin's
Yes.
Creed game has its level of silliness. Um, but I do, oh my God, because you were talking to me outside about how you were like, it's kind of weird how he's just kind of like adjacent to the assassins. And like we learn, and you're like, it would have been cool
Right.
to play through. Like we learn has a lot more to do with the assassins kind of like after the fact. Because like Mary, again, I said spoilers. Mary Reed dies. That is a big moment for him towards the end of this game. He does kind of talk about like helping with the Brotherhood here towards the end. And if you know the games at all, Adewale gets a DLC where he's an assassin. You learn about Edward's son, unfortunately, becomes a Templar, but it's okay. Edward's grandson is Connor from Assassin's Creed 3 and avenges everything there. Um, I love lineages. It's so cool. But I can't wait to see what Jace does. I hope it's some cool shit. I hope he's a pirate. No, I'm just- but it's just you and you're completely fair, completely valid. You would love to see that on screen. I as well don't know why we don't have we don't have to go the Ezio trilogy route, but we could have gotten another Edward game, especially with how much you have like
Black Flag 2 would
narratively.
have been cool, man.
Right,
Even if it was just him, like, like being in England trying to build up the assassins
right,
and having to deal with the stuff that he did while he was a pirate,
right.
and like that coming back on him because he
Yep,
messed up a lot of people. You
he
know what I
did.
mean?
He
Like
made
it
enemies.
would have been real cool, even if it was like an old man Snake or an old man Ezio. Like
Right. Revelations.
yeah, it
Yeah.
would be cool to have that follow up, and especially if his grandson, with his son and his grandson and that lineage and what happens with
Yep.
them, like seeing the seeds planted of that would have been real cool too.
Yeah.
You know?
And
So
because I will say, man, I really wish I had played Black Flag back when it came out. Because I bought them. I remember buying Assassin's Creed 3 just day one, loving Connor. It had multiplayer. I was like, what is this? This is different from other Assassin's Creed. And it's like the whatever time period I'm blanking right now. Civil War, I'm pretty sure with George Washington and all that. Yeah, sound right to you?
the revolution,
That's right, Revolutionary
Revolutionary
War.
War.
Yep, you got it.
Okay,
Right, yeah,
we got
yeah.
that. Yeah,
I was like, but
helpless.
but it was I just love that game, and I went until I played Resynced, beat it, and then was looking up stuff after the fact. I had no idea. And like obviously all these games are tied by some form of lineage or another. It just does get a little crazy after Desmond is gone. Because we do kind of have the fumbling of like this is now the protagonist and we're diving into his bloodline who's also assassins, and I mean it works. There's not one assassin. So
Right,
it is how it
right,
is.
right.
Um we're not doing the whole Targaryen thing, you know? Like it's just gonna it just is what it is.
Keep the bloodline pure, dude.
There has to be some assassins who did it. But anyway. Um I would have loved because I genuinely loved Assassin's Creed 3. I loved Connor as a character, and that would have probably pushed him to being my favorite had I been like, "Oh my God, that's Edward's grandson." And not only that, going into like Hatham, the son of Edward, how that all got turned around. Shit's
That's a
crazy.
crazy name. That's still a crazy name
That
to
is a
me.
crazy name. We may never know
Hate
who
them.
actually named him. Whether it be the woman or if it was Edward. And
Hey
apparently,
them is
hey
your
them.
name, bro.
Yeah,
Hey
pretty much.
them.
Hey them. Hey them.
That's how I agree
Uh,
my non-binary homies.
and then he's just gonna sneak in and kill you.
Hey
Um,
them, what's good?
and then like even with that, like Adewale and him joining the Creed, he gets that DLC after the fact, which honestly, because it's like apparently like a 3 to 4 hour DLC. Respect to Ubisoft. Like I said, I still give this a 9. I don't want to take anything away from that, but if
Mm.
that exists, that would be really cool to have as this package. I think because it's kind of like this situation of we gave it crap, but Persona 3 Reload came out.
His package.
You're stupid. Persona 3 Reload came out with the full remake, and then it was like
Mm,
either later that year or it was the next year that we then got the DLC you had to pay separately for.
right.
Um, and maybe they do that. I don't know. But still, I just like if you're remaking things already, it would just be really cool to have them as a package because Adewale is a great character and I would love that story. But I know I've kind of gone on tangents here, but I just want to say a big part of why this is my favorite Assassin's Creed game is this has my favorite. Every Assassin's Creed game has your supporting cast. You can you can barely call them supporting because they're all main characters in their own right because they actually usually exist or are based off of an existing character. I think this has the strongest, at least from the games I have played. Um, we have Blackbeard, we have Hornigold, we have Mary Reed, we have Bartholomew. I was gonna say Kuma, One Piece fan. What's up? Bartholomew Roberts and Bonnie, Charles Vane, and oh, dude, we cannot
Oh,
forget
gross.
Steve Bonnet. How dare you say
Oh yeah. I thought
that?
that's what we were going for. My
No,
bad.
no,
You
no,
said,
no. Oh yeah,
oh.
we'll go into them in a minute. But there is so many because the from what I've seen, apparently it's not 100%. He was the only one brought back, but he for sure was brought back and redid most of his stuff. Matt Ryan for Edward Kenway, but a lot of
Mhm.
the majority of these lines, renders, and whatnot, they just use what was already there. And I gotta say that Thatch performance, that Blackbeard performance, is insane. That has to be like right now. That's one of the best things I've seen on the screen. It's so good, like the voice, the just even and like my mind, I didn't know. I don't know pirate history. I didn't know Thatch is Blackbeard. And then the
Mm.
moment you see him when he's grown out the beard, he's like, "Why fly a black flag when a black beard will do?" And I was like, "Chills, dude. Chills, dude." I was like the Rock, just coming out, just fucking feeling those goosebumps. It's so good. Yeah, baby.
Bloodline rules.
Bloodline rules. Bloodline rules. I'm gonna do this, and you're not gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's just yeah. But dude. I love every member of this cast, even the ones that like Hornigold, who ends up betraying you. Like, they're first of all, I just like to say Hornigold. And then we have Bartholomew Roberts here, who is the person you've been hunting like pretty much the whole game with the whole observatory plot that allows you to spy on anybody if you have their blood. That's a horrible thing to exist. And of course, there's just horrible people looking for it.
It's like
Um,
flock cameras times 1,000.
Right. Right, dude. Like, oh my God, it's horrible. Um,
Oh man.
but dude, like the cast is so strong. Performances, story, I think they're all so strong. And then like sadness, where they all die. Well, not everyone, but the majority of them die.
No, they all die. Yeah.
No, Bonnie
Yeah.
does not die. She's not dead
Everybody.
at the end of
Yeah.
this game.
Everybody experiences a lot of loss in
Oh,
this,
for
to
sure.
say the least.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But before we get too in the weeds with the characters there, I suppose, because you're talking about the story, and especially like the money hungry Edward Kenway, and he for sure is. Like he starts out a money hungry pirate. He does stay that a good bit. But what I was referring to, because I'm not outright disagreeing with you. What you're saying is 100% there. It's just the way to seek because he does have character progression. It's just he doesn't always acknowledge it in the main plot because he'll like
I played all the side missions, bro.
I know you
I
did.
don't know
I'm not
what
saying
you
you didn't see it. I'm just saying like it is there because like when Stede Bonnet dies, he hangs his portrait up and I forgot his name, but the man who's running the manor when you get there, he's like, "Oh, that's a
right.
fine piece. We could sell this." And literally, Edward says the lines, "There are some things that gold just can't buy." And that is, especially with what we're talking about here, this is why is the first stop I wanted to make. It is a huge growth moment for him. Does it come back in that capacity? No. But like when you have that,
It
he says the
it's
lines, and
like
it's
it's the promise of growth. It's
right.
like yeah, but it's not
Well,
though.
um,
He's just said a nice thing, which is nice, and I love it. And that was a
uh,
very emotional thing for me, just that mission in general.
dude.
Um,
And apparently,
but
the original game, like that song didn't exist. Like, there's no song for Stede Bonnet. Like, they added that after the fact, and ugh, I love me a bass. I love me a bass singer.
but like I can't recall exactly what I did after completing that mission because it is a side mission. So I don't
Mhm,
know if I went straight into a main quest from there or something
mhm.
like that. But I can bet you that the next big decision that he had, where it was like chase the gold or keep your men alive, like he chased the gold.
So,
So
and I will say this, because the majority of the game, he doesn't actually like he talks about like getting a big payoff, but the majority of the game, he's chasing the observatory. He's not chasing anything else. Um,
because he thinks it's a great big treasure
right.
as
Until
such,
he
like
learns of what it does, and at that point, he does decide it just needs to not fall into the hands of the wrong person.
right.
Which is when he's lost his career, lost everything. And it's that moment. And again, this is like at the tail end of the game. This is when Bartholomew Roberts also betrays you, which, like, when you're following him, it's very clear. Like, one thing you can bet on when you start this game, Adewale's right. Listen to Adewale. Every moment, he's 100% correct.
He's just
Um,
constantly like, dude, what are you doing?
right.
We're gonna die.
And he
Like,
follows him a
what
little
are
bit.
you
He
doing?
follows him a little bit to that that almost like where Bartholomew betrays him, and he's just
Yeah.
like, I gotta think of the crew here. And it's like, I get it, dog. I get it. And again, I'm not saying by any means Edward's not flawed. Um, but when he sees when it because it takes too much. It does take so much for him to finally see, oh my God, you've betrayed me
So
too.
much.
Um, that is the moment, along mixed with a little later when Mary dies, that he does see the assassins for who they are, what their creed is, and whatnot. Everything is permitted, and he starts taking it seriously and starts thinking about like fighting for something bigger than yourself. And this is where, and I did see this online. I just didn't take it to heart because I was like, I'm gonna play every bit of content there is. If you look online, it is advised not to play the new mission, A World Without Gold, because it is, and as it's kind of pointed out here, it just takes Edward to square one with the moneyness, because he literally just repeatedly, it has nothing to do with the observatory, it has nothing to do with like any grand scheme. It's just money, 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 money,
It's
money, money,
just a
money.
lot of money.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
right. It is the most clear example of what you're talking about, to where like I don't even know if that like it for sure would have been better as like an intro mission or something to get to know these characters, but like it's supposed to be a sweet farewell, and I do love the little moments you get with each character, because you do in the
Right.
final bit you do get like a final thing. Do this with Padre, do this. I forgot the Navigator woman, but do this with all these characters and get like this moment with
And
them, and that is
fun.
great. But you don't have to regress Edward to do
Oh,
that. And then after that, like you're back into the observatory thing, uh, and it's yeah, it's there is an unevenness to the narrative, and and I'm not just saying it's with the new chapter. You're absolutely right. A lot of it does not showcase any growth, like a lot of growth for Edward. Um, but I just am saying to acknowledge that there is some there. He does. I'm not saying he's the biggest. Like he's no Jamie Lannister. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that by any means. But for me, I didn't find him one note. But I will say he's also not the most fleshed out dude out there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and like you said, like a lot of the missions do show like his humanity and that like he does have something, he cares about people and stuff like that, but
Like the
like not
Blackbeard
more,
mission when he gets
but never
Blackbeard's
more than
treasure.
gold. Like
Right.
it's like that's how it feels, like, oh man, like when there's no gold involved, like he is totally for the people, you know.
Fair.
It's how I came away
No,
feeling.
that's fair. No, no, no,
Um
no. I'm not. And
and
again, I'm not saying you're outright wrong.
and again, even with because the DLC is just part of the game for me, or like the
Yeah.
extra content. This is the first time I play the game, so like
Yeah.
this whole thing is like my view of him. So like not unlocking that until the very end of the game
Yeah.
and being able to play it right before the last mission, like
You
being
actually
there in
unlock
the
it like
story.
halfway through. But yeah.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
just held off on it
I was
then.
gonna say
So
you
I did.
because it just shows up there, but it
Also,
unlocks after you get your crew.
I think you recommended that I wait
Don't.
until the end because that I wait until right before the last mission at least
Right.
to
Because
play
I
it
was like,
before the
don't make it
last
your
mission
last. Yeah.
because it just goes better right there.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you already had it on your mind, I could tell.
Right. Because
But
when I played it, I did it after I beat the game. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh my God, no. This isn't an ending. Like you very clearly see it's supposed to be like a little like rendezvous with all these characters that obviously fans who played the original, you're getting extra time with them. That's great, dude. That's so cool. Um, and it is a fun little adventure, but it does run the risk of adding to the nails of the chalkboard of the money narrative, which you're
Right.
absolutely valid there. Um, but yeah, just to say that I love Edward. He is the little tramp that does make plenty of mistakes. Uh, and honestly, Adewale put up with a lot more than I think a lot of people would. And hey, man, again, just ask yourself at the end of the day, what would Adewale do? But I
Yeah.
do just, oh man, the characters
It's his
again.
whole crew after a while. Because
Oh
Bonnie
yeah.
gets on him too.
Oh,
Bonnie
Bonnie,
gets
because
on him
she takes
bad.
his place. Because Adewale goes to
Yeah.
join the assassins. She becomes like his first mate, and yeah, she's especially in the that new chapter there, A World Without Gold.
Yeah.
She's
She's like,
just like
what are you
constantly like,
doing?
what are you doing? And she's 100%
Yeah.
right. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Always listen to Bonnie as well. Um, but let's talk about because obviously we've been focusing on the story here. We are life is storytelling, baby, and we're not done with it. But I do want to ask, there is repetitiveness here. There's repetitiveness in any Assassin's Creed game, I will say. Um, but overall, because with your time with the world, like you explored the world, you went island to island, you played your game.
Mhm.
Um, did it ever like obviously you still gave it an eight? Was the combat and exploration enough for you to like get past what
Yeah.
you saw as not your favorite part of the game, being Edward?
I would say yeah, especially with the I mean, you kind of create your own balance here, but I definitely had a nice balance created with the sea combat and
Right.
the land combat.
Yeah.
So having being able to like switch up and do either or because there was a good bit of time in this game on sea where I was like, I don't feel like fighting anybody. I'm just
That's
gonna go
fair.
where I need to
That's
go.
fair.
Or I'm gonna fast travel over there and just
Yeah.
like ride up into place. And so there was and then it was nice to go back to the sea combat when I had just been stabbing people in the face the whole time.
Right.
So yeah. So having that nice balance really helped it keep it fresh for me, but it was still noticeable that like it's that same way I killed those last seven people
Right.
right there,
Right.
with that same animation. And so yeah, I mean it was definitely strongest at the beginning, especially because it doesn't evolve in any way.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like everything should be like an RPG or anything like
Right.
this,
But
but
unlocking
like
some moves could make a big
getting some
difference.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
So
I agree. Yeah.
with that, and then with that, it definitely helped to keep it fresh, and it was a mostly good experience. It is just I wish there was some more variety with it.
Right,
That's
for sure. Which you would have probably gotten had they done a sequel. Because obviously, like you played Odyssey. You've played one of the more RPG
right.
heavy Assassin's Creed. We'll call them the modern Assassin's Creed games. Um, you get different weapons, you get different gear, armor sets, stuff like that. Um, do you do
I like it.
you liked it? Yeah, I was gonna. I
I
didn't know
like it.
that's
Yeah.
essentially what I was going with there. I
I'm a
feel
big
like
RPG guy just in
right,
general though.
right,
Like by our rule, I like RPG stuff the most.
right.
And like yeah, like having being able to grow as a character
Right.
like should not only in what's like the best kind of games in my mind, like it I don't want to only see it in the story. I want to feel it in my game.
Right.
Like in my gameplay and stuff like that. And like from the get-go, it felt like Edward was already like the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and that he's
Yeah.
just like an unstoppable machine.
Pile of
And
bodies. Pile of
yeah,
bodies
yeah.
everywhere he goes.
Especially because like even if you're sneaking up on them or anything like that, the brutes, like whoever, if you're sneaking up on them, they're done,
Yeah.
right? Which I mean, it kind of makes sense, but like aside from them stopping like the automatic kills, they're still like super easy to kill.
Right.
So, so like yeah, it's just like growing into some of those more difficult enemies, like the ones that shoot more or anything like that, that
Mhm.
wear the feathered hats and stuff would have been cool, but you're kind of just kicking everybody's ass. Like even people with health bars, like you can two, three shot them, like if you
Yeah,
played it right.
100%.
So
That
yeah.
brings me to, do you recall like I don't, if you know the names, that's fine. But like, did you find any special weapon? Because you do get like swords that have like special abilities, like gold tier swords
Mhm.
and guns as well.
Right.
I lost my mind when there's gun blades in this game. Did you get the gun blades?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and if you get a perfect parry, you get a shot, and yeah, that feels so cool. I was like, oh, pew, pew, pew. And then of course you still have your regular gun,
Gun
and
kata, baby.
and then the guns I had, I forgot what you had to do because it wasn't just when you shot, I don't think, but like they slowed down time, and
Mm.
like it allowed me to get multiple shots off on
I
multiple
think it's if you
people.
get a headshot
That might
or
be it.
something like
That
that.
might be it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they all have a prerequisite for most of their stuff. But it just in a game where I mean that doesn't make up for the lack of variety in moveset, but it is like a little salt on the bland meat, if you know what I mean. Like it
Yeah.
adds a little, it has a little bit of a kick to it. Not fully Halle Berry though. But
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. But it just I did appreciate things like that. I will also say because I hopped into just a marathon. I downloaded the DLC for the base game. I downloaded Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Valhalla after that. And I did touch all of them. I was like, I'm in here. Oh, that's all the shit. I'm in here. Oh, that's all the shit. I'm in here. That's all the shit. I'm in Valhalla. And at that point, like I played that for like 2 days and I was
Yeah.
like, this game's huge. And I was like, I am determined. And I will say this now as long as it's not some like weird thing, because Ubisoft, I plan to get the next new Assassin's Creed game. I think I'm back in the game. I think I'm back in the game. I almost bought Shadows because it's on sale, but I kept telling myself it's not that much newer than Valhalla. And at that point, just you own Valhalla, play Valhalla. It's like, okay, you know what?
Mm, mm,
Valid.
mm.
Because yeah, I
Except you're
can't.
not going to play.
Right. Well, so that the thing
Yeah.
with that is like because you immediately hit and you said it to me immediately like it's crazy to go into these one of these big games and then want to play another one. Yeah, that wall's gonna hit you. That wall's
Yeah.
gonna hit you.
Yeah.
You're gonna see your first second checklist in the big old map, and you're gonna be like, oh,
And because that happens like from some of my favorite games. Like
yeah,
I played Metaphor and Persona 3 like very close to
right,
each other. And I could not play. I was like, I need to like be able to like move around in combat or something.
yeah. I need
Like
something
I need
else. Yeah,
something. Yeah, yeah. I need to switch
100%.
it up. And like I said, those are my favorite kind of games. And
Yeah,
no, like I need to switch this up. So definitely, definitely, it helps to have a little bit of space. It's like any relationship where like you need a little bit of time to miss each other. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like you
100%.
need to spend a little bit of solo time just away from your love so that you can come back to that and it feels fresh.
For sure,
Absolutely.
for sure. Which I mean that ironically does kind of mirror what we're talking about with the moveset here. Because like something like any type of change, anything, like there's so many people I stabbed in the face that I'm like, Edward wouldn't do this. And I don't feel like they deserve this. Some people sure.
I accidentally stab people in the face once in a while.
Every day, man.
But this game has you do a lot of things accidentally because I mean climbing can be such
And
I
I
mean
heard a perfect word for it. Sticky. Because there'll be moments where you're just like, oh, dude, he's kind of stuck here.
yeah,
And to get
yeah. And I'm
yourself
like
free, it feels
hitting
like
the
you're gripping yourself
direction
in the
of the
direction.
ledge and I
Yeah,
just like move it a little bit and it's like, oh yeah, that's what you want me to do.
I'm
Like,
turning my light
yes,
on,
dude,
but
I'm
I'm still
so good trying
listening.
to oh good, good. Look at that. But
How dare you?
oh man. And then so the
Oh.
what was I talking about?
The stickiness of a character trying to do parkour.
Yes, dude. Okay, yes, thank you. And the parkour parts of it, and which was especially at the beginning really highlighted by trying to chase down those dang like music sheets. You know,
Right. Yep.
I was like, why is this thing not doing the thing that I'm telling it to do? Like,
Yeah.
I go through exactly that thought 100 million times within these Assassin's Creed games. I want to say.
And I will
So,
say,
but maybe it's just like I need to get good. I don't
no,
know.
no, 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 no. Because I can, as somebody who's in the rare position to where I just touched multiple games from multiple generations. Um,
It's always
Literally
been.
Valhalla being like within the last few years. So because first of all, the naval combat improvement in this resync compared to that original, good Lord, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But in terms of parkour, like in most of these games, you're starting off parkouring somewhere. And yeah, dude, like because every other game you're gonna be able to touch, their PS3 ports. They are remastered. But they're not fully remade. They're just like up-resed. And yeah, good God. The stickiness is definitely a thing in those earlier games. Because when I hopped in Valhalla, there's still some awkwardness. There is still some awkwardness, but immediately I was like, this is the smoothest I've ever felt parkouring in an Assassin's Creed game. Because this is the most I've touched in a short amount of time. So it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, holy crap. Um, and like because this game does find itself in an odd position to where I'm sure there were improvements made, but at the same time, it the
It
core of the
has that
PS3
older
game is still
structure.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I it for it to come out the way it did, whatever you had to leave, I think they made the right call. Uh, say what you will about the DLC not being included, but yeah, the stickiness is there. I will say that became, in terms of gameplay, because like there's three main factors to this game: gameplay, story, and exploration. Um, I say game. I put gameplay away from exploration because like that's going to be more of your combat, including the naval combat and whatnot. Whereas your exploration, like it's like kind of you doing the checklist stuff outside of like actually fighting anybody. But they do obviously share a little bit with each other. But like for you, like you said, the story, especially specifically around Edward, I mean, he's your main character. That's the catalyst for it all. Like that didn't necessarily work super well for you. But around that, that's why I was asking about like the exploration and the gameplay for you, like if that was
Right.
enough to overcome it. Because I feel
And
like if
some
you
of
get
it
the two out of the
was.
three, yeah,
Yeah, there was some activities like different things you could go around and do that I did enjoy, you know.
yeah.
Like harpooning I got over kind of quick. Um the diving bell I did like two or three
Mhm.
and I just got so frustrated with that stuff. And again, that might be some get good stuff, but like the second one that I went to, I kept dying in there. Like I kept
Oh,
dying.
really?
Yeah, because I was trying to get the chest for everything, and there's
Yeah,
just some stuff that's just out of reach. Like I could not figure out how to get like because they put you in mazes of tunnels and stuff like
right.
this that are like pushing you different ways. And I died in there like 10 times. You run out of those barrels in those different little areas away from the diving bell, and it's
Right.
like over if you don't know where to
It
go.
can't happen. It can't happen. Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, okay. Like by that time too, I had kind of figured out like I wasn't going to plat it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just not going to do these anymore.
And
So
that's
like
completely fair.
the things, yeah, that's the nice thing about not platting it is that
Yeah.
you don't have to
That's
do
the relief
everything,
I have when
you
I'm on
know.
Xbox or Switch.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit less stress, but it's stress that I love to put on myself
Right.
with the right
Not
game.
to take
This
away from
just
what you're
isn't
getting. Yeah.
this just isn't one of those. And it's
Right.
cool that they make it part of the story so that like you do experience it no matter what. um but like there are those little things in there where it's just like, oh, okay, like I get it, I'm not gonna do that, and it's great. And then the things that I did enjoy doing, like taking down the forts, like what else? I'm trying to think of the other checklist stuff out there, just like buried treasures and
Buried
things
treasure,
like this.
assassin
Like,
contracts,
yeah, oh, the assassin
hunting.
contracts the most.
Yeah.
That's what really brought the most Assassin's Creed feel throughout the
Mm.
game for me was the Assassin's contracts and like going there and completing all of those because it's like, hey, this dude's bad, go get him.
Yeah.
Try to do it this way and
And they
then
have
doing
like
it
a
in that special
little,
way.
it's like a
I
two
loved it.
sentence thing, but it's like a little reason of why and stuff
Right,
like
right.
that.
Yeah, this guy kicks chickens, like go get him. And then he's just like, that's why it took him so
There's a
long to
lot of
make a favor.
slavers. A
Yeah,
lot of
yes.
slavers. Yeah.
And damn them. And
Damn
damn
them
them.
all. Yep.
Definitely.
For
Yeah,
sure.
get them. And then it's one thing that I appreciate about Assassin's Creed games is you just get to murk a lot of people that have it coming. It's
Yeah.
pretty great.
For sure.
Yeah. Can you imagine a modern one? And then so
We thought we'd get one
they
someday.
this you can't. People are gonna sue. But they're
But
gonna be
also
like,
like
that's based off me, and then they're gonna be like, no,
uh
that's just a super bad person.
well,
And you think it's you.
yeah.
But Grand Theft Auto is gonna do it. But yeah. Assassin's Contracts is what feels closest to just when I think of an Assassin's Creed game and
Mhm.
like how you're gonna be an assassin and be
Yeah.
part of the creed kind of makes sense. And then that's what I think of. Like, you got to go get these guys. You got to get those guys. And then there's a big bad at the end. You know,
Right.
somebody that's trying to do the most evil thing that
And he
probably
gets
has
like the
something to
bigger
do with
health
like
bar or
supernatural stuff.
something. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Or like there's a lot of like ads or
Yeah.
obstacles or
Mhm.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's
And
what I
yeah,
thought of.
I might
So
like so
Assassin's
like
Contracts.
for me, my favorite thing is the exploration, like finding the buried treasure. I love the diving bells. Once I got the hang of it, the first one I went into, I made the mistake of not realizing when you use a barrel, it goes away. And like in my mind, I don't know why it goes away.
Same, same.
And like, because I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna use this real quick. Oh, I'm gonna use this
You
real
just
quick.
like
And
break it on the way out or
right,
something, and it just like
and then you realize you're low, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go use this one I just left behind. And then like you die. But it's just but once you after that I got the hang of it. But I love looking for the buried treasure, stuff like that. My thing, because it's Ubisoft, you had it. Like find because Skull and Bones should just be the way ships work in a full pirate game. Like that's because like it's very detailed in the pirate ship aspect.
right.
Um, and then you take like a narrative with like something like an Edward Kenway, or like you just don't say assassin, and we'll start there, and then find a different method of like diving for buried treasure, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There can be some bounties,
Oh, it
stuff
can
like
still
that.
be a diving bell. Do
It
it.
can, it can,
Do
it
it.
can, it can, it can.
Yeah, it's your
Um,
stuff. You know,
right, like
use it.
Bethesda, you know that Fallout is made by the people that make Skyrim, not just because you know the developer, but you see the DNA in both
And
games.
if you're gonna like reuse an asset or something, like that's the place to do. That's the place you're not gonna get sued. Do
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
And people like just people are gonna love you. Because literally, like it's a unique thing. Because you're right, Edward's not too involved in like the assassin things like an Ezio per se. I think he's one of the first people that come to mind, other than Altair, the OG. Um, but it is like this weird balance of pirate and assassin, but like he's not actually an assassin. He just has the blades. Um, and I feel like you can do two things here. If you just completely forego the assassin stuff, you can make a go fully in on like the buried treasure, the underwater stuff, the naval combat, stuff like that. Just go really hard on that stuff, give it a whole new narrative. Like you already have the beginnings of a really good pirate adventure. Like you have it. Um, and then on the other
And
end, like
sword
they've already
fighting.
done. Right, and sword fighting. Give us some different blades. I don't like you don't have to have like a full like fleshed out like skill tree. But you can unlock moves. Give us some new moves, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you do the thing. We have plenty of games that like different swords, different weapons have the move set attached to them. That it happens. Maybe a rapier has you do one stance, a big broadsword has you do something else. I mean, you would literally have to hold them differently, so makes sense.
They
But
didn't
yeah,
have broadswords like that, I don't
I know.
think.
I couldn't like I do think of
Calm
them with
down,
the
strength build.
I hate you.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, you weren't diving for the things you should have. But no, just giving examples there. But it's just yeah, there's definitely they had it. They already had it. Like they this came out like so long ago, and they could have
Mhm.
just built from this to a better pirate experience than Black Flag specifically, but also much better than what we got with Skull and Bones. Um, because yeah, it's just a really detailed pirate ship simulator, essentially. It's Forza, but with pirate ships. So it's just if you want to be the pirate ship, you best love pirate ships, boy. You are one. It's just so weird because they have it. And obviously there's things internally, and those things internally have led to where they're at right now. And with everything we do know, there's probably like 10 things we don't. And it's just like, man, I hope they figure it out because they used to have the sauce.
Yeah.
Like, it's the reverse of Capcom. Capcom Like they
Oh,
were great
sauce is
early
lost.
on. The sauce is lost. But but like Capcom was obviously most of these like the ones you know the names of these developers start out great, but there are rough times. Capcom went through a period being called Crapcom, and like they almost killed the Resident Evil franchise. Like a lot of things were just not hitting, not selling well. Like we just got a game to sell more than Resident Evil 5. That's crazy to me. Not and it sold well. Not that it had low number, but it's just yeah. Um, but like, look at where Capcom is now, and then you reverse that. Ubisoft, golden standard, man. I was telling Ernest this early on when we got Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. There was a time in my life where, because BioShock 1 and Assassin's Creed 1 launched around the same time, I got both of them. And if you had asked me which one I loved, I could not pick. They were
Oh
in the
yeah,
same echelon for me. And I remember telling my friend, I think maybe Assassin's Creed because it was less scary. And but they were both incredible games. And obviously I look back now at both of those games. I can replay BioShock 1. I cannot replay Assassin's Creed 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bioshock One is really good
It's a
though.
classic. And as I mean,
And
Assassin's Creed 1 is a classic as well, but in terms of
yeah,
mechanics and whatnot, it's just so much simpler than what I would want to do going in for. Obviously, I assume it's the smallest Assassin's Creed game
I would
excluding
think so.
DLCs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So like, I mean, it is what it is, and Altair is a character that deserves respect for that very reason. And it's where we got Desmond. So yeah. But
right.
you don't and then immediately you follow that up with the assassin everyone talks about, and that's Ezio. Ezio Auditore de
That's
Firenze.
the he's like the Michael Jordan. Like no matter how many other like you know assassins come along, like everybody's going to refer to him as being the best.
And they know,
Even if he did it like old school. And they're like,
right?
oh, but there's like newer ones that do cooler moves.
Yeah.
No, Ezio is the best
Ezio's the
because
goat.
he was the
He
best when he
he
was
got a
doing it.
trilogy for a reason, and that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They all had good stories, and it does have the benefit of like it's all focused when you're not in the Animus. Like it's still Desmond.
Right.
There is an awkwardness where you take the Desmond out of it, and they don't really know what to do with that. Um, But like, dude, I remember that was part of Assassin's Creed 1 for me. Just being like wondering what's going on. Why
Right.
is he being attached to this machine? Who are these Templars? Are they good guys, bless you? And like just like, oh my God, no, they're villains trying to learn the secrets of this guy's order and just all this crazy stuff. And I loved it. And I loved the mystery. And I really thought, I can't believe thinking back in the past, we're about to get the last Assassin's Creed game. Because like there's a point where like Desmond uncovers the gods and like they just kill him off and we move past it. And it's like, okay, here we are. And
That's wild.
it is.
That's
And it's such an
crazy.
awkward thing. And that's the reason, from my understanding, that like we don't even have the Animus stuff here. There's like an Animus mission. And it is interesting. And I will say, in terms of like, if you want to change up your gameplay loop, you're not going to do anything else like it, before or after, because there is only one.
It's so weird that
It is
there's
so weird.
just one
It is
thing.
very odd.
And it seems like it's gonna come back. Like
Right.
the Dark Animus is like, I'm coming for you. I'll
You
get
get
you
like
in
these
your dreams.
messages.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, and then it's just you
It's
never
just
see that
gone.
again.
And it's very curious.
That's crazy.
I will say I don't know how that all like because there is obviously stuff outside the Animus in the original game. I don't know how that plays out. So I don't know how important it necessarily is. But experience inside the pirate world is so good. But
Mm.
again, I touched on it before. This supporting cast of characters is my favorite. Dude, Thatch alone, Blackbeard, when he's like, I for an audience. It's so good. And like, I had the moment because you get this game, I think it's a
Hmm.
pre-order bonus, you get his outfit. And I put it on just to see what Edward looks like. I'm like, oh, this is goofy as hell. Who would wear this? And then you
Yes.
get that scene where he puts the hat on. I was like, you're the only one. You're the only one who can because it
Yeah,
looks
it's
bad
different. It's
ass on
different when
him.
he's wearing it. Yeah.
It's dude, it
Yeah.
looks great. Dude, like the smile, the eyes are filled with mischief for an audience. I and he just oh dude, he starts screaming, poor Steed. Oh man. But Bonnet. But dude, he's what a performance, man. And like Bonnet, like performance wise, he's fine. There's not too much too much dramatized there. But he is the like obviously I don't know how innocent you can call any pirate, but in terms of what we get on this game,
Yes.
he's the child. Of he's like trying to sell his sugar at the very beginning of this, and Edward's kind of using him, and then that evolves into kind of like a friendship where Bonnet joins Blackbeard's crew, and like what a person to learn from right there. Damn. Um, and then from there he has his own ship, he's doing his own thing, and to the point where like he gets hung, the gallows await him, and like it's dude, I was emotional. I was like, no, my baby boy, he didn't deserve that. It was so sad.
And because the last time you see him before that, he's sailing off just like goodbye, like oh, like
I treasure your
you,
friendship.
yes, yes, like oh, dude, it's beautiful. And then it's like go check up on him, see how he is, and
Yeah,
you pull up on that island and like oh,
ship's
dude,
wrecked. Yeah.
that's the saddest or second saddest. It's up there in the top two of like moments in the game.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
and then his crew like singing a song for
And the
him and
song's
stuff
so
like that.
good,
Oh
dude. They do
yeah,
so
yeah.
well. Like, oh, I love it. I love it, dude. It just, and I hate that. I'm like, Edward, shut the fuck up. They're singing. But he's literally telling the first mate of Bonnet's crew, like, you're gonna have the ship now. You're gonna be in charge now. But I was like, let me have a moment with this. And they do give you a little moment, but like they will not stop singing until you leave. And I just sat there. I was like, let's chill for a bit. This is cool. This is neat. I loved it so much. I do want to say because like there's three specific moments. Because that is one of the saddest. The other one for me, dude, I hate when Blackbeard dies, man. Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
because he's going out, because he goes out like a beast. Like he's celebrating his retirement, and I should have known. Like we have a traitor amongst them and everything, and he's
Celebrate
like,
his
and it's
retirement.
literally just a pirate equivalent of like, it's my last day. I'm gonna go see my newborn baby girl tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and the other, the big thing here is like, dude, none of these pirates exist anymore. So like we know they die at some point. But literally, and this is where they get the name of the that mission from. In a world without gold, we could have been heroes. And I was like, dude, my goat right there. He's so good. From the moment you meet him, obviously when he actually takes over the Blackbeard moniker, it does take that extra step into awesomeness, but he's always good. He's always a great character. He stands by his beliefs 100%. Hornigold, I do love. You can see where he's going with it, but at the same time,
He's
a
a
pirate
bootlicker.
trust he is a bootlicker. No, I'm not saying
Yes.
that. But like it because when you see it start out, because it starts out as innocent as any, what's the whole thing, like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because he's just like, dude, everyone we know around us is following the pirate era. Because this is kind of like the end of the pirate era, stuff like that. And he's like, it making allies with these people that are hunting us might work out. And that leads to Blackbeard dying. And it's just like but at the beginning of it, Hornigold not fully understanding the Templar Order, whatnot. He's just wanting to preserve his folks, his crew, his people. It's just again, with some of the writing here, the villains become very villainy very fast, and yeah, and he doesn't seem to be like, this seems weird. Just, but I do love the moment, like, and it's like kind of a chilling moment where you do all the assassin stuff. When you're trying to hunt him down at a certain point and you think you're about to get up to him, he's like, I thought I saw the jackdaw up there, and you have to jump back down from like the top of a barn or something because you were like sneaking up trying to watch him. And he's like, I knew it was you, Kinway. And dude,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great. I love their exchanges. They're so good. Again, there's not a bad performance here. Um, but I will say that betrayal didn't hit me too hard because I was just like, "Oh, gold, you son of
You see it coming a
a-" You
mile
do,
away
you
for sure.
do,
They
and
like you know right away that he's gonna like as soon as he's like maybe we should turn ourselves and like
yeah,
yeah
because
yeah it's gonna go down
because
from
you know.
there.
First of all, if you don't know history at all, just watch Pirates. You know what happens with the government. You know what's going on here. Like they don't want. There is no partnering with somebody who wants you eradicated. So it's just how that goes. But Blackbeard's death. hit me really hard. Bonnet was very sad, but then the one that hit me just gutted me because I really, really like Mary, Captain
Yeah,
Kidd. I
yeah.
love her. It's very clear immediately that this is a woman, but it's okay.
Immediately,
It's okay.
immediately. With the old graphics, it helps a little bit the
Right.
disguise,
You know,
but
fair. I didn't
like
think about that, but yeah.
in the remake here, that's a lady. I
Right.
can tell.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
she's
right.
lying about being a man because she's afraid of being judged,
Right.
and it's
And to be
like
fair,
probably rightfully so. But like, it's crazy that nobody called it out before.
so, and I was thinking about because I looked at some stuff on this and like obviously there's no direct thing and I think people are probably putting onto it, but it does make sense in the terms of like she's a successful pirate. Bear that in
Yeah,
mind. And in this at
this
this
only
day
furthers the
at this point,
disguise.
right? It's just like why they just believe it's a man because a woman couldn't do this in their eyes and stuff like that. Because I mean these are all prideful folk. And also, I don't know how educated they are.
There's, but and like I don't want to argue against that point too much because
Oh,
there's definitely a sense of that. But like, there's a pirate queen like that you kill. There's a
that's true.
the Chinese lady, and
Yep.
maybe things are different in the East or something like that.
Ah,
But
she's not
like,
from there. Yeah,
she runs stuff,
she
and
does.
she's just taking these rich boys for fools and
Right.
stuff, or not rich boys, the other pirates and stuff, the other assassins and
Yeah.
stuff. So like, yeah, like she's running stuff. So like, I mean, it's not that. Yeah, I just wish the character could have just been himself.
Yeah, because now that you
So
bring that up, because that is a
it's
side
that's
piece of
all it amounts
content,
to.
because that's assassin
Right.
contract where you get that that
Hmm.
the pirate queen. And I you're probably right. There probably is things done in different parts of the world and whatnot, which kind of probably makes it more impressive. It would have been really cool to have Mary part of that mission. To be like, oh, look at somebody who embraces who she is without
Right.
changing anything. And just yeah, because I don't know, but because I get, I do get it. We definitely have some stories. I'll say, when you get into Persona 4 next year, you're gonna have a character who it makes a little more sense in a modern setting as I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, no, it's just pretending to be a different gender to be judged as that gender because it would be a better judgment than what you actually are. There's obviously layers to that, different time periods, different things that we may not necessarily know. But I will say it didn't take anything away from me. And when the reveal does happen, like she's a badass through and through. And I love her so much. And she's the one who before Adewale, before anybody, I mean, I'm pretty sure she is a full-fledged assassin if she's not in training at the time we meet her here. She's the one who introduces Edward to the Order, and they're all like, "Oh, you've butchered," because you at the beginning of this game you kill multiple assassins. Um, because yeah, it just is what it is. Um, but when you
Because
get
he
those
was joining
moments
up with the Templars, is
he
what it was.
was. Yeah, he didn't know who they
Yeah.
were. He was just trying to. He happenstance loaded. He was on a ship with an assassin who was going to betray the Assassin's Order. So the original Assassin's Creed rogue, and he ended up taking his stuff and finishing his job, which was delivering intel. And then obviously later on, he learns, man, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh,
um,
these guys are inherently evil. Oh
so
no.
bad, so very mean, very evil. But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I love Mary Reed. She's so cool. I love her as a she's a real pirate as
Mhm.
well. And when you get because at first I thought it was a lie because you have them arrested and they both say we're pregnant. I thought it was a
Yeah.
lie to like
I thought it
belay
was just,
the hanging, and then
and
you
because they're
learn it's
so
real.
quick to be like, "Oh shucks,
Yep.
take them away,"
Yep. But at the
You
same
know,
time,
like,
it's not like they had have them pee on the stick. Like they don't
yeah,
got it.
yeah, or like sonograms or anything like
None of
that.
it. Yeah, yeah.
We
And
came a
turns out
long
that
way
worked.
in a short amount of time. If you think about it.
But
But anyway,
then you get Edward breaking them out of the prison, and again with medicine the way it was and whatnot, they weren't in any kind of medical facility even for that time. They were in a prison. Mary does end up passing after the childbirth, and we don't know what happens to her kid. I will say I haven't looked it up after the fact. I should have seen if maybe we do see her in the story some. Well, I don't actually know if it's a boy or girl. If you see the child somewhere or anything, and same thing with Bonnie. Um, But Bonnie
Yeah, she
does make
loses
it.
her kid.
Yeah, the government takes both of them, and it's like, holy crap, that's some stuff. That would be some cool DLC content. Bonnie finding her, and you get to play as Bonnie. Um, but again, I just want to comment there. And Bonnie is also really, really cool. I love it when she joins your crew. I will always love Adewale, but he has it makes sense for his character to be like, okay, Edward, I'm done with your shit. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
be an assassin because his life hasn't been the best. And he's like,
yeah.
I get to live for a purpose, do good things. And I will say the DLC has him doing a lot of good out there on these islands. Um, so it's really cool to see that. But and Bonnie becoming the first mate, obviously that bit with losing the child sucks. But we get her singing a song at the very end of this game where we get a reflection of like everybody who we've lost. And it's beautiful. It's so well sung. The cutscene is really, really good. I was like, holy crap. I didn't expect this. It's a really good ending to this game. I wish I had played the extra chapter before that so I could have just ended this perfectly. Um,
I really didn't expect it to the point that it really made me realize that people used to just break out into song a lot more often back then. You know,
hell yeah.
like people have stopped breaking into song
And the world's
a
gotten worse.
lot.
It's
Yeah,
just gotten colder.
yeah. There's probably a lot of stuff to sing about out here.
100%.
Just on the street, walking down the street, just hitting the number. You know what I mean? But like, mm,
Gotta
yeah.
bring in
And
the snap, man.
no, I don't want a gang fight. But uh, that's what you do when you're in a gang fight. But yeah, they people just saying a lot. I mean, the shanties are definitely one of the best parts
They're
of
so
this
good.
game. Like
They're so
easily,
good.
easily, it's one of the
And
best.
there's
Yeah,
so many
pirate
shanties.
songs are dope.
They're
Yeah,
very
pirate
cool.
songs are dope.
And
And
one
then
of
did
them
you?
is what would you do with the drunken sailor? And I love it.
The drunken sailor is like
It's
that's
it's
my favorite. It's
it's
my
the
favorite.
Altair of pirate
It's the
shanties.
goat. It's
It's
the
the
goat.
original.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
Oh,
They sing it really well. This pirate band always
I,
always sings it at Ren Fair,
okay.
and it's awesome. It's
Amazing.
awesome. They're so good. I wish I knew their names so I could sing it.
Look up Pirate Band, folks. Uh,
Yeah. Texas Ren Fair. They're amazing. If you're watching this, I love you. I'm sorry I don't know your name.
but also just to with that, because like Steve Bonnet gets a song. Like you can find a shanty for him after the fact. And I
Right.
love like you can do the radio thing. You can hit a button to be like change your song or something like that. And it's funny when you go into port and he's like silence everyone. You'll sometimes hear a guy go like, oh okay, because their whole lives are on the boat. Like those people are just always there. Oh heck the ball. But dude, I love this cast. I love this crew. I love everybody you get to hang out with. Even the lesser characters like Padre. I say lesser in terms of like you don't get as many like vocal cutscenes with them after you've done their quests and stuff like that. And then the inclusion of Deadman.
Pride o' Bedlam. That's the name of the band.
Oh, okay,
Pride
gotcha.
o' Bedlam. Yeah.
Shout
Sorry.
out. No, you're good. You're
Yeah.
good.
They're the
Um,
only pirate band I know, but they're the best pirate band I know too.
But like I was saying, like the like Padre, and then like with the added chapter, which is probably my favorite thing of the added chapter, is the added crew member, Deadman,
Mm.
the guy who just very emo at first, good reason.
Guillermo del Toro.
His life, right? His life has not been great. He has
No,
been given a
not at
purpose.
all.
He lives a
So
lot of
bad.
his life. We found him in a box, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's just how that goes.
it's
Um,
rough.
but he's a great character, and I love where we get to go with him. And it's just again for me, I wish I had played it before the actual ending of the game because I was just like, man,
One
I've already done this.
in the side mission where you go and put the dude back in the box to put him in the box is one of
Yeah,
my favorite side
it's
missions in
sick.
the entire
It's
game.
very
Yeah,
good. It's very
yeah,
good.
it feels nice to put that guy in a box
Yeah, it
for sure.
does. Because dude, there's so many slavers, so many slavers here.
So
There's
many slaves.
plantations, like it's just oh man, and like, and this is part of kind of the repetition. Granted, like to get to every one of these, dude, you're traveling so far. Um, but once you unlock, like, I mean, just get your fast travel points and you're just it's very easy. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like, man, these plantations just won't go anywhere. I've killed them all so many times. But yeah. Um, but dude, yeah, I love this game. I had such a good time with it. Like I said, as of right now, I'm planning on playing whatever the next new one is. I say as of right now
I got
because
you.
like if it looks terrible, if it looks like and I do mean like mainline Assassin's Creed game. Like it
Yeah,
can't I don't know if they're doing some mobile shit to try to get themselves from not syncing or something. I love because like they did that shooter that we played, like I think it's X Defiant.
X
Yeah,
Defiance. Yes,
because you
yes.
know even if the game doesn't exist anymore you'll see it in your collection or whatnot. You can choose to hide it, but it has an assassin as the cover of that, and it always takes me off guard because you can unlock assassins outfits later on in that game because they're
Oh, and
supposed to
that
bring
was
them out.
that was like the last little thing they
Yeah,
added in before
pretty
it
sure.
cut. So it looks like an Assassin's Creed
Right,
game.
right, and it's
Yeah.
just like that's why I'm like nothing like that counts. um Assassin's Creed is one was one of my favorite franchises, and I do still say there is an argument that it is a very important franchise because there is I know they're not historically super accurate games, but they do have historical accuracy in them to go look at. I want to say it
Right.
was not Odyssey. Origins came out before
Odyssey
Odyssey.
was wild.
Right.
Odyssey is more based on myth, obviously. But
Right.
yeah.
But I want to say because Origins was like the first RPG one of the start of this new modern era. Um, and Odyssey came after the fact. I want to say that that was the first one where they implemented like a museum, like they take you on a tour of the world the game is inhabiting, and it's just a historical thing. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know if I could have checked in Valhalla while I had it downloaded, but that's so cool. That's so neat, and there is an importance for that. Like right now I think knowing history is so important. It always is. Because as you know, we if you don't know history, you run the risk of repeating it. And we don't want to repeat any of this, like any of these things. And there's certain things we're repeating right now that I'm just like, man, if only there's an Assassin's Creed game that could have just reminded some people of how things work. But I just but just to say, like, it does still have its place in that like importance echelon. I don't have it filled up. I don't have other really like. I'm just saying it. It is easy to shit on Ubisoft now. They did kind of go crazy with the Call of Duty-ness of Assassin's Creed, but since they've been spreading out, since they've
Like
tried
pumping
a
them
couple,
out.
right,
Yeah.
and since
Yeah.
they've kind of taken like obviously right now we're getting a bit more in terms of like listening to fan feedback. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, Assassin's Creed in Japan. Even before that, Assassin's Creed shorter game. Like
Yeah.
there is a balance to things. Again, I'm not a business person. I don't know what can possibly save them in the hole they've dug themselves. But as a consumer, as a customer, I can talk about goodwill a little bit, and I do think this is a good start to that goodwill. On the Assassin's Creed side, I don't know where Beyond Good and Evil is. So
X Defiance never coming
X
back.
Defiant should not have existed.
Blood and Bone.
Blood and
Blood and
Bone,
Bone. Bone and
Skull
Bone
and
and
Bones, Skull and
yeah,
Bones.
those. Yeah, Blood and Bone is a movie with
Okay,
what's his name? Michael J. White or whatever. Like he just whoops
okay,
ass.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
Go
awesome.
watch that, folks.
I think that's his
Um, but Ernest, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm happy to have had the experience finally. I am finally within the inner circle that has played Black Flag, and with playing Altair, the Ezio stuff, and this, I think I'm now complete for the essentials, right? Like there's not many others in the series that are people are gonna be like, what? You didn't play that game? So
Yeah,
like I'm an Assassin's Creed guy now.
that's
Hmm.
fair.
And that feels
Yeah,
nice. That feels nice. And I totally get why. Like, I get why people push this game the way that they do, or why
yeah,
you see it on so many people's like favorite game ever lists and
right.
things like this. It is because it is a great game. I think it's very well. Uh, but again, there's a lot of balance here that really helps it propel to that like great in my mind, and the between the combat with the characters, even though like Edward be pissing me off, a lot of the side characters are awesome. Like
Yeah,
we had Kinnison in here just playing a crazy man, and it was awesome. Innocent,
right.
my bad, not
No, you're
Kinnison.
good. I was gonna.
Innocent.
Yeah, you're good.
Ralph Innocent.
You know that
Yeah,
voice
what's the
anywhere,
name? Oh,
baby.
Vane. Yeah,
Yep.
Vane. Like
Yep. Yep.
that's
Yep.
great. And when I finally took the time to like slow down and listen to him talk, I was like, oh shit, that's Ralph Ineson. That's
That's
crazy.
Ralph Ineson.
So, um, yeah, just so many like characters that kept me interested. The there are those things like the repetitive combat, like the what I felt was like repetitive character moments,
Yeah.
like just in oh I want the gold, like I get it, you're a pirate, but um, there's just little things that I am going to like stay at my 8 for, but that's a
Mhm.
great place to stay,
8 is great.
absolutely,
Yeah.
because I had a great time with the story. I overall I love the smoothness of the combat
Yep.
and just being a pirate, man. You don't get to do it everywhere.
Yep.
And being able to do it here, it's like the best pirate experience you can have, like in a video game. And I still need to get on Sea of Thieves. That's the only one I
Right.
don't know about. But
The only thing
like,
with Sea of Thieves is
man, this was good.
you're not killing anybody. You're not like really fighting people. You can sink ships
It's
and you
more
will lose
about the
loot.
ship. Yeah. Yeah.
But then, well, it is about the ship, but there's so many islands to get off and explore, and you have things you're finding on those islands, and you'll
Yeah.
have like enemies you're fighting and stuff like that. But like you can't like hurt other players and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, okay, it's fine. But again, when as for somebody who says Assassin's Creed Black Flag, my favorite part was the exploration. That is the wonderful part about Sea of Thieves. But yeah,
Hmm.
I'm right there with you. I love this game. It is obviously recommend. There's no way you haven't been recommended this game if you've ever said you like Assassin's Creed before. Uh, I do
Just
hope,
video games.
right, in general for sure. Um, I do hope now that Assassin and we just got this. Right? We just got this, so I'm not saying anything. They probably need to hurry up on some things. Again, they're in like treading water. But I would love a redemption for Ubisoft kind of similar to what we got with Capcom. And I know this is going to be easier to say because it's just like do the same thing they did, like remaster these games. Resync this was really good. I would love because like you have absolutely played the essentials. I really wish Assassin's Creed 3 was in that conversation for essential Assassin's Creeds. Um I don't I wouldn't recommend playing it now. Because again, you don't even get to play as the character that I would want you to experience until like 10 hours in. But that alone makes it a little bit unique because you're playing as, again, I would have enjoyed the part so much more had it been like, oh, this is Edward's son. And like you start the game off him assassinating somebody at in a play and which is very reminiscent of like how you see the first time you see him as a baby in a
Oh, it's
theater,
in the Opera House.
opera
Yeah.
house. There you go. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, yeah. And like it again, there's silliness to it. How does nobody see this grown ass man climbing up these rails? But it's fine. Uh, but Connor is such a good character. It's a point in history that in terms of where the world is, it is kind of modern. With like George Washington and stuff like that. Like you brought it up the other day about how like the whole calendar year thing, about how long humanity's actually existed with
Oh,
it in
right.
terms of
Yeah.
existence. Um, Especially when you compare that to like Vikings and all this other stuff, the gods and Odyssey and stuff like that. Just a lot of respect for Assassin's Creed 3 there. And I just remember that one sticking with me because I really like uh but also hopping on these other games, like I would love a remaster of Rogue, because I went my whole life not knowing that Assassin's Creed Rogue, you play as an assassin who betrays the Order and joins the Templars. And unfortunately, you play as they make you kill Adewale. That's
Hmm.
crazy. But like dude, where is the Ubisoft that's trying new shit like that? And like from my understanding, like there was just some things that ended up being a little half baked with it. But what a great starting idea to just be like, oh my God, yes, let's do it. Let's see what's going on. And he's Irish. Love an accent, bro. Love an accent. But yeah, dude, I would love some resynced games coming up, as well as, of course, balancing that with some new titles. And I understand Assassin's Creed isn't only what Ubisoft is known for, but it's very clear. Like they in their showcases, they have a separate segment of a showcase for Assassin's Creed specifically. They know what the moneymaker is, and it's this franchise, which I believe we're getting a movie or a show for. There is a movie out there with Michael Fassbender. I have not watched it, but I do love me some Michael Fassbender. But that is to say, love this game. We both recommend it. You want some good pirate antics? Go play it, man. There's no reason not to.
Do
But
it.
but we this weekend is the end of House of the Dragon, the current season. Um,
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about our pirate party.
our pirate. Oh, we are also having a pirate party. Only
Yeah.
the first three. Pirates of the Caribbean 1, 2, and 3. Screw
Yeah.
those others. But yeah, I haven't watched them in forever, so I'm really stoked to go into those. And like it's at a weird time because like when I originally pitched the idea, I didn't know Miranda was wanting to do like a river weekend like the other weekend. But like at the same time, I want to watch these pirate movies while I have an inkling of the pirate game that has me wanting pirate
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because like those movies will always be good. It's just like it'll be a little extra when you're wanting that. And we will have rum. Uh, but yeah, House of the Dragon this current season ending this week. A lot to talk about there. I do believe our plan is to review that next week. And on the docket, the next game right now that we're planning to review, it's time. It's time to review Overwatch. It has been it's next week will mark 6 months
It's
since
Overwatch again.
it is Overwatch again. 6
Yeah.
months since they made that change, added those four new characters, the biggest update they've made to the game in a long time, for one update. And then I do believe we have an announcement of a new character, another mech piloter. So maybe we'll get more information on her before that. I know. I know it's crazy. But yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to, lots of stuff to check us out with in earnest for any of that, for any of our content. Where can the people find us?
So if you like to stay up to date with the show, you can find us out here on all these social medias, baby. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And if you'd like to reach us directly, you can find us at lifeisstorytelling at gmail.com. We appreciate any and all feedback, and we fucking love you.
We love you so much. Thank you all for tuning in, hanging out. Let us know what you think of Pirates. Oh, well, yes. But I did mainly mean Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. But let us know about the Disney movies as well. And for anything else, just
Yeah.
let us know, man. Thank you all for support and have a great rest of your night.